I would like to say shalom, brothers and sisters. We're here on the Sabbath. All praises be to the Most High. Ahaya in the name of Yeshaya. My name is, of course, a lot of you may already know, Elder Rakashiar. And we have Elder Lawyer today here on your Sabbath day. Now, there are so many things I would like to cover today for the Sabbath with so many events and prophetic scenarios going on in the earth right now. Okay, it's to the point where, I mean, what do we deal with first, right? I have some news, a few clips that we're going to give out to y'all this week that we did a couple of weeks ago in prophecy, a little that came out of the academy that I believe that a few snippets we're going to give you that everyone must hear as far as some of the news pertaining to what's going on right now. But all in all, how many things we have going on right now? We have the election, right? With Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, right? We also have going into November, we're at the end of October right now. We have Halloween, knowing that they will soon turn off the grid. And they're also focusing people on the same thing, same time this is going on. Right? How does all these events coincide? The same thing, same time this is going on, they're ramping up drills all, not just throughout the United States, throughout the world. Okay? They're also focusing people on the outside of the firmament with what they call solar bursts, claiming that the electrical grid could go down if there's a solar burst. Okay? Preparing people for the electric going off, knowing that they will soon turn off the grid and lead into an entirely different system that will have the majority of the population begging for the mark of the beast. So you might ask, well, why are we talking about this on the Sabbath day, right? Well, keep in mind that the Most High gave his people, I'm speaking of our people, the children of Israel, signs. He also gave us understanding of times according to Sabbaths. Okay, so we're on the Sabbath doing what? Prophesying and resolving times in preparation for the coming of our Lord and Savior. Satan know him and the politicians who are under him know that they only have a short time, and they're ramping up their program all throughout the four corners of the earth against God's people. Same time this is going on, there's an onslaught against the Bible. It's an orchestrated campaign to discredit or come against this book while evil abound. You think that's a coincidence? No. Think again. The Bible is the only book, brothers and sisters, that resolves what's going on. So how do we quantify a lot of this in preparation and getting our people prepared for what's about to happen and understanding the times? Well, the Bible says it's high time that we awake out of sleep. And hopefully this day, this Sabbath day, and the understanding that will come, this lesson that will come throughout the Sabbath, through the Sabbath today, will allow our people, will allow you to do just that. Not only become awakened, but react and deal and do something with that understanding. Now, first and foremost, years ago, we did a video from Babylon, Rome to America, showing you how the Bible shows seamlessly how all three of these culminate from one empire to the next, leading to the modern day America or the modern day Babylon, right? You also seen us through years, and you're going to see more, all praises be to the Most High, our church teaching on the street. Myself, Elder lawyer, Elder Zion Nash, all the elders, even the brother Nadar, who's with us in California now. You've seen us talking about what was coming here to America and the fact that soon our people would need to come out of Babylon altogether, knowing that the politicians of this earth will systematically and religiously implode Babylon so that all power can shift back to the Vatican, to Rome. When I say the Vatican, they're only the religious wing of this whole thing. There's a religious wing, there's a financial ring, and there's also a systematic platform politically. So it's all through three phases. It's not just one. A lot of people would like to just point to Rome, Rome, Rome. But it's a system more so than just a religion, okay? So how do we quantify this going into what we call Halloween? Well, first and foremost, brothers and sisters, everyone everywhere, especially those who are in the United States, must come to grip with the fact that America was never under God. Not at one point was the land we call America was under God, or our God, the God of gods, the God of the Hebrews, the God of Israel. Satan ruled America and has been the God of America since its inception. All right? So in order for us to eventually come out of her, we must first understand her and separate ourselves from her in every facet in preparation for what? A clean separation, spiritually and otherwise. Now, this system perpetuates certain religions and certain things that are fun to children, aimed towards women and children, that does what? Socially calls us and bind us to this satanic place. Right? But in order for the Most High to save us, his people must make a clean break. Right? So when we say, come out of her, my people, yes, America will soon be no more. And for those who believe she will be, I can't speak for them. But the Bible tells us that sooner or later, sooner than later, based on everything we're seeing, it's about to happen. Keep in mind, even the elite powers and the Zionists in this earth today, brothers and sisters, keep in mind that they are right out showing the people all over the earth, including the Americans, okay, the Babylonians, quote unquote. They're right out telling them that the electoral system was always a joke. Okay? No wonder why you have what you would call Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump posing together a few days ago with this Jesuit in the middle, Timothy Delane. They're in it all together. Babylon has always been evil. So we're going to go into this today, all right? We're going to see if we can culminate and bring all of this together so that our brothers and sisters out there on this Sabbath and beyond will know what time it is and prepare for what's coming, right? Let's go to Revelations 18 real quick, right? And when the Bible says flee Babylon, that's not a doctrine, okay? That's the Bible. The only doctrine that is the Bible's doctrine. Okay? Let me make that clear. Okay? And when we teach, that's and prepare for what's coming. Right? Let's go to Revelations 18 real quick. Right? And when the Bible says flee Babylon, that's not a doctrine, okay? That's the Bible. The only doctrine that is the Bible's doctrine. Okay? Let me make that clear. Okay? And when we teach this, it's not in panic or to leave in haste and all that into panic and say, oh, they doing this. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, this world, even Satan's agents, can do nothing to you without permission if you're under the hedge of the Most High. The accuser of our brethren was cast down. He's leading those like Trump, Hillary, the Zionist. You understand? So Satan, like he asked for permission to touch Job. At that time, he had access and was an accuser of the brethren. He had to ask permission to come against the righteous. See? So this, when we teach this, it's not for you to fear. If you're under the law, statutes, and commandments and doing what's right under Christ, you have zero to fear. So you can't operate in haste of fear of what the government can do to you. We're not breaking these things down because we fear government. We're showing you these things so that we can prepare for the coming of our Lord and Savior and be able to prophesy beyond Babylon once it has fallen. Okay? Let's read it, Revelations.
Yes, sir. This is Revelations 18:1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen.
Babylon the Great is fallen, it's fallen. Now, more proof that Babylon is totally fallen and can't get up. It's as if the elite powers in this, well, I wouldn't call them elite, the dirt powers of this earth, okay, are laughing in people's face with these events, what they show, these staged events, showing Hillary Clinton walking down and cameras are strategically put in place showing her falling. A woman falling. Right? They're telling you it's all being telepath or being promoted throughout the earth and published throughout the earth what's going on. That lady that would fall. It's the same thing. A lady in red, she falls, right? It talks about the lady at the end, right? Now, I'm not saying Hillary Clinton is prophesied. Hillary Clinton is Hillary Clinton. I'm just showing you how the Zionists and others do certain things right in your face as if they're telling you what they're doing. They're imploding Babylon. Babylon has run its course, right? So they are imploding it. So they're using these actors. They're using these front people, okay? The real people you should be looking at are the people that can't get voted in, who can't get voted out, who's always there regardless of what politician is in place, like the Rockefellers, the Kissingers, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the on and on and on and on, the Hiltons, on and on and on. These people are in place regardless of the puppets they place before you. Donald Trump is an actor. Hillary Clinton is an actor. Okay? So we're going here to show you that they're showing you that, listen, this place is finished. Okay? They're not even putting a person before you that can show any similitude of hope. Right? Babylon the Great is fallen. It's fallen, read.
And it's become the habitation of devils.
And it's become the habitations of devils. So what is the Bible relating to us today, right? What is the Most High showing John the Revelator when it says become the habitation of devils? Well, it's showing you that this place that the Bible is prophesying about will be systematically set up to do devil worship, demonology, evil, wickedness. That Satan, this would be Satan's new Babylon. See? This place would be ran by devils and demons and evil. Right?
America, according to the Bible.
Go on.
and the hold of every foul spirit,
Every foul spirit. That means everything that's wrong. Right? Blurred lines you would have. No moral compass. Everything the Bible says to do which is moral, it would teach the reverse. It would totally skew gender lines. Totally skew any level of any understanding of piety. Make it where you don't know which way you're going. Totally confused. Right? Babel. What happened at the Tower of Babel? The tongues was confounded. Confusion. Right? This is what Babylon was set up about. Was set up on from the beginning. A matter of fact, the so-called first president of the United States, George Washington, was a satanic
Better wake up. Better wake up, bro.
Mason. And they have a statue with him in Roman garb in the same pose of the satanic Baphomet. Okay?
Better wake up. Freemasons, Jewish people, aka Romans, and they're Freemasons. Colonized the place. They never believed in God. They believe in Satan, not the Most High. So that's the little Freemasonry symbol. They think God is what you see on the right side of you.
They have been putting this in your face all along. It's just been.
Then the fucking Statue of Liberty, the fucking lady in the Roman garment with a fucking torch. That's a Babylonian and Roman too, Ceramicus, female fallen angel. So they got that shit going too.
For you all along. They use these systematic Babylonian churches, and I'm going to talk about it in a moment. These systematic Babylonian religious institutions in America to teach us an alternative reality, okay, that would actually tolerate and bring some level of understanding to an evil world. It was the religious teachings that had us tolerate this place as God's place, as God's country. See? Anyone in their right mind outside of religion, if you read the Bible, you can clearly see that America is the virgin daughter of Babylon. Okay? But if the churches have been infiltrated by Jesuits, by Romans, the same people who destroyed our people, who destroyed God's people in 70 AD, Zionists and Jews, which are...
Look up 70 AD, that's real history. Israelites, Hebrews, the original Hebrews, were destroyed by Romans, like them, and we ran to Africa. And that's when the prophecies happened of slave ships into America because we broke the laws, Deuteronomy 28:68. So we're not from Africa, we ran to Africa. So they're not African, but they are dark skinned. And these are Romans that destroyed us. So.
Jewish people, which are Romans. See, if they're controlling your education, your churches, they'll make you believe good is evil and evil is good. And at the whole time while you're in these churches, systematically destroying your children, making them believe that the Bible is just another book. The only book that can resolve the place we're living in and the imposition against us. Right? So when the Most High says, Babylon the Great is fallen, yes, we all see it fall. It's fallen, right? But he wouldn't show us this or give John this without an answer, brothers and sisters, right? Babylon the Great is fallen, and now it's being controlled by demons, devils, Satanists. Like your lady in red here. We all know she's a eugenicist. She's a Satanist. She championed Margaret Sanger, which was a eugenicist, who had a plan to make it really, to make it a power move for women to think it's okay to destroy and kill their own children. All right? You strong and you have courage if you can kill your baby, right? This systematic psychosis that was taught by Margaret Sanger has killed over 500,000 black babies.
Yep, abortion is murder according to the Bible. Because all spirits are made by the Most High before they're physically in this world. So all that stuff like abortion, Plan B pills, whatever the fuck it is actually more murder according to the Bible, and was taught by fallen angels, all that type of stuff, technology or whatever, drugs, originally called potions. And there's a specific judgment for that. Having the Most High in Christ judge you with the kid you more like sacrifice, abortion, right beside him. So, satanic world, bro, satanic world. Like 20-something million children aborted or something.
Who was behind this? Who championed this? Who celebrated that eugenicist? Who said we need to kill these black weeds? Hillary Clinton. Okay? She's a top sorceress, a witch. Okay? These are your choices, even though you never really had a choice. Okay? That whole thing in the 60s, when they moved the civil rights movement from equality or right justice to being able to vote. The Zionists controlled that whole thing to make you believe that that's what we wanted. We never wanted to vote. We wanted to be able to protect ourselves and have our own without an outside influence destroying us internally. That's what we desire. They moved the pendulum into a system that they were controlling already. See? Do you want to vote in Babylon? Do you want to become Babylonian? See? Let me give you the right to become even more evil and wicked and confused. See? So voting, you never had a choice. No sooner as they gave you the right to vote, what did they do? Well, they brought in the electoral, it's called an electoral college. Mm-hmm. So that now the popular vote will never win. And then if you find a way to get around that barrier, that evil thing they've put before you so that the votes, they can still control the vote, then they'll tell you, well, we got super delegates. Mm-hmm. Who are they? You never had a choice. Okay? You never had a choice. We were brought to America as a curse. Okay? That's the whole deal. We were meant to be servants until we're freed according to prophecy. Okay? Now we're at the end of the times the Gentiles will rule and their demons and their gods will rule over us. We're at the end of that now. Now the alternative is what the Most High is showing us here in Revelations, to come back, follow his laws, statutes, commandments, become righteous in an unrighteous world, deny everything this system is pushing on us, deny it all. Right?
Wake up. Satan's world, bro. Everything is pagan, satanic, bro. Gotta wake up.
Right?
It's true, whether you believe it or not. And we ain't talking about no religion here. We're talking about the Bible. Because Christianity, Catholic, any denomination does not teach you the real Christ or the Bible at all. I don't know if I want to go over everything, but I'll just deal with Christ for a second. The Bible tells you Christ is dark-skinned with white hair in Revelation 1:14-15. Obviously, they're lying on Christ by putting up a false image. Caesar Borgia, a known criminal, homosexual, second son of the Pope of Rome, Alexander VI, Caesar Borgia has the false image. And any type of image is graven images and idolatry anyways, but you know. So they lied about that, they lied about everything else. His name isn't Jesus either, because Jesus is Greek language, and Greeks are Romans, and Christ was a Hebrew, he was an Israelite, right? So his name's really Yeshua, that's Savior in the Hebrew. So Christ's father is Joseph and shit like that, so and he's the son, he's not the father, so they lied about his birthday, December 25th, Easter has nothing to do with him. They lied about a lot. So you gotta follow the Bible, King James Version, alone, outside of religious influence, because religion ain't teaching you Christ. They're teaching you Babylonian, Roman customs, satanic, pagan customs. So,
Come on, other lawyer.
Babylon the Great is fallen,
It's fallen, it's fallen,
and has become the habitation of devils.
and has become an habitation of devils. There's demons ruling America and the Western world. Now, when we talk about Babylon, we're talking about a system in place. All right? Even the atheists are religious. See? The only reason they became atheists is so that they can be the fundamental foundation to attack the Bible. See? That was their whole deal. But even they are under a religious Babylonian understanding because they're behind the banking systems, which is Babylonian. They're behind the systematic rule of Rome.
if you don't know what Babylonian is, that's the Tower of Babel, ran by Satan, Semiramis, female fallen angel, Nimrod, Tammuz, the hunter, and all that. The first cities, the first religions, Sunday worship, virgin birth, holidays, religions, all come from there. All holidays and religions come from Babylon, Tower of Babel. And the Tower of Babel with a technologically advanced weapon, tower, CERN, NASA, trying to get up in the heavens to fight the Most High. So that's Satan's will, to go back up in the heavens and be like the Most High, fight the Most High, whatever the hell. So, and the Most High in Genesis took down that tower by splitting the languages up. That's what we call it, Babylon. Babblings 70 different languages. So they couldn't finish the tower, and they separated into their own lands with their own languages, 70 different languages. And that's but they still had the same customs from Babylon, like Sunday worship and virgin birth in the holidays or whatever. So that's why all religion holidays are the same, just different languages, different cultures, or whatever the fuck. And that's when idolatry started happening too, because Most High sent down 70 angels. And paganism is worshiping or thinking God is fallen angels over the actual creator that created them. So that's where paganism, because they started worshiping the angels that came down. So people gotta do their research. So all these religions, even Christianity, has nothing to do with Christ or the Bible. It's all Babylonian, aka satanic.
Colonizing other countries, the patriotic way of the Western world. Now, when we talk about Babylon, we're talking about a system in an unrighteous world. Deny everything. This system will rule, and their demons and their gods will rule over us. We're at the end of that now. Now, the alternative is what the Most High is showing us here in Revelations, to come back. Follow his laws, statutes, commandments. Become righteous in an unrighteous world. Deny everything this system is pushing on us.
Can't follow no government satanic. Religion and holidays, satanic and pagan. Healthcare system is meant to mess you up. Ain't meant to help you. It's genocide you. Educational system is a bunch of lies. They turn you into even more atheists and pagans through the educational system. So everything, voting, politics don't matter. It's all pre-planned. It doesn't matter what you do. So it's two sides to the same coin. So people gotta wake up here. America is satanic according to the Bible. Tower of Babylon, then spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt. So you gotta really wake up, man. Follow the Bible, not religions. King James Version, 80 books. Then they are I Gather 144 on YouTube, so I'll watch them. They got facts in history. The Bible is real too. It's real history. So wake up.
Deny it all. Right? Come on, other lawyer.
Babylon the Great is fallen,
It's fallen, it's fallen.
and has become the habitation of devils.
And has become an habitation of devils. There's demons ruling America and the Western world. Now, when we talk about Babylon, we're talking about a system in place. All right? Even the atheists are religious. See? The only reason they became atheists is so that they can be the fundamental foundation to attack the Bible. See, that was their whole deal. But even they are under a religious Babylonian understanding because they're behind the banking systems, which is Babylonian. They're behind the systematic rule of Rome, colonizing other countries, the patriotic way of the Western world. That's
Yeah. The top 1% elites, the government, higher ups in the government, they're all Satanists, Freemason Satanists, so they follow Satan and they're Rome. Jewish people own the world under Satan, according to the Bible. So, and Jewish people are Romans. So, people gotta wake up.
all a religion, brothers and sisters. So the atheists,
People trust in the government, the armies, and all that. They're pagans and Satanists, all right? Those damn military people, they're MK Ultra, all right?
it's just a faction that was carved out by Zionists to attack people who believe the Bible. That's all it was. Okay? You rarely eyes in other countries, the Babylonian understanding, because they're behind the banking systems, which is Babylonian. They're behind the systematic rule of Rome, colonizing other countries, the patriotic way of the Western world. That's all a religion, brothers and sisters. So the atheist is just a faction that was carved out by Zionists to attack people who believe the Bible. That's all it was. Okay? You rarely hear atheists speaking against any other religions that believe in God. Their sole focus is for those who are upholding the book, who can resolve everything. Us, the children of Israel. Okay? Come on, let's go.
In the hold of every foul spirit, in a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Read on.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
All nations have participated in the evil of Babylon, which was a Masonic build from its inception, which was under Satan's authority from the beginning. Okay? Read.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
And all nations have become rich, buying into the satanic system, the new Babylon.
All the Bible, by the way. They're reading out the Bible. Unlike those Christian pastors, you know.
Read the 4th verse.
Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people.
Saying what?
Come out of her, my people.
Right before the Most High destroyed any empire,
Gotta follow the whole Bible, too. All of it.
he warned the righteous. Okay? We can go on.
That's spiritually coming out of Babylon. Not physical, alright?
On and on and on.
So that means no religion, no holidays, and you can't trust in no government.
We can go back to the time of Christ, before the message came to John the Revelator. And Christ was letting us know, as the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Then he talked about Lot. Don't be caught out there like Lot's wife. They were giving us understandings how to resolve Babylon in our time. Don't be like Lot's wife. She looked back. Her heart was still joined to Satan. One moment. Go to Revelations 18 and 4 again.
Revelations chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, what?
Come out of her, my people.
Come out of her, my people. See? Same.
Spiritual fornication. That's linking with another god. The god of this world, which is Satan and his fallen angels. AKA believing in God bless America, Patriot America, following any religion or any holiday. Spiritual fornication with Babylon, with Rome, with Satan. That's a fact. All right, that's a fact.
As I've mentioned a little earlier here, okay, Christ
Follow the Bible outside of religious influence. And Christ's real name is Yeshaya, and he's dark skinned, with hair. And the real Israelites are people off the slave ships. So, Romans, the Jewish people are Romans. You got to follow all the commandments, get baptized. You know, Christ's father was Joseph and shit like that. Basically, anything you know in Christianity, throw that shit away. Or Catholic, so.
gave us those
That's the truth.
same warnings. He was telling the disciples that eventually the Romans are going to come against us. The Romans will come against us. He kept telling us, okay, that they will compass us around and eventually destroy us. And that happened in 70 AD. And he told the people, listen, don't be like Lot's wife. Don't be like Lot's wife and turn around and desire that evil place. So when people claim that fleeing Babylon is a doctrine, it's unlearned. Okay? Because the Bible tells us that there will be a great destruction in Babylon that's coming. Okay? There will be. Every empire suffered a serious destruction. Okay? Look at what happened in Egypt, the plagues that enslaved God's people. What place have done more evil to us than the Western world, than Babylon?
Yep. Slave ships into America. They colonized Native Americans, genocided them, broke 7 Peace Treaty, and they're Israelites as well. There's 12 tribes. They're from the tribe of Israel. 2nd Esdras 13. Got holidays under destruction. They came with human trafficked us. They give us the gangs. They give them drugs and guns to keep destroying themselves. They're the original drug dealers. They all this crime and stuff. They established this place on murder and lies and shit. Then the modern day crime, pedophilia, murder, lying, whatever the fuck it is. They do that shit daily. And we go to jail for that stuff. That they do all the time. Right? Shit like that. The witchcraft over us, all these idols, like, hey, like I say, dang, man. Gotta wake up.
Okay? So if he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah with their sodomitish ways, okay, and he destroyed Egypt, what do you think he's going to do to the Western world? What do you think he's going to do to America? So this is a warning also to the nations. He's telling his people, the people he loved, the people that are following his commandments, hey, come out of her. Separate yourself from her. I'm about to destroy her. Okay, that's what the Most High is saying. Read.
Verse 5, or Salaki, the rest of verse 4. Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins.
That ye be not partakers of her sins. And I want to show you something real quick, brothers and sisters. To show you that Babylon extends from Rome, right? A few years ago, we showed this a few years ago, showing you the ancient Tower of Babel on your left, unbuilt, and the new parliament of the EU on your right, showing you a what I would call a modern construct of the fallen or the unfinished Babylonian tower. See? So they picked up from where ancient Babylon left off. Can you see this? To build a hub, a system, a world system, a one world order that would exalt the God who gave them their power. Okay? Satan is the God of the EU, of America, has always been, over the religions, whether it be the Seventh-day Adventist Church, whether it be the Jehovah Witness Church, whether it be the Mormon Church, the Church of Latter-day Saints, whether it be the Baptist Church, the Pentecostal churches, whether it be your modern-day non-denomination churches, they all have some piece of the Babylonian teachings in their religions, even those that reject Rome.
Wake up. Got to read that Bible outside of religious influence, bro. That's the truth.
Like the Seventh-day Adventists. Okay? These are all evil and wicked harlot houses, according to the book of Revelations. They stem from the mother of harlots. The mother is Rome. Rome wasn't just in Italy. It wasn't just a little city. Okay? It's an idea that spreads through conquest and absorbs the rest of the world. That was the whole point of Rome from its inception. Okay? Now, we just covered that in the last 2 lessons in the academy. But now, we understand that Rome, the fourth beast, absorbed all the power religions of ancient Babylon, ancient Egypt, and all that, and it became all of them wrapped into one. America is the country, the daughter of Babylon, or the extension of when Rome's deadly wound was healed. America embodied all of them and became a superpower in a shorter time, in a short space. Okay? So now they have accomplished their agendas in bringing the whole world under the fear of Rome's rule. They have now set bases, military bases, all throughout the 4 corners of the earth. They have systematically, through their religious financial system, sucked all the resources and indebted every country on earth. Okay? They no longer need Babylon now. They've done it. They've used Babylon and tricked us in churches into joining their militaries, into thinking we were defending God's land. They used us. And we went throughout all of the world fighting these satanic battles that would one day turn around towards us, where we are now. The same black people who fought in all their wars for them and have did their conquest are now labeled terrorists. Okay? Wake up, brothers and sisters. This is why the Most High is saying, listen, you better wake up and come out of it. You better separate yourself. You better follow me. Where one must ask permission to touch you. Okay? You must get under the hedge, brothers and sisters. That's what this is really about. Okay?
The hedge is following the laws and commandments. That's the hedge. That's the protection.
Come on. Revelations 18:4.
According to the Bible.
I heard another voice from heaven saying,
Come on.
Come out of her, my people.
Come out of her, my people.
That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Because if you don't come out of her, you're going to receive the plagues of her. All of it. Let's go through the plagues for people who believe that coming out of her is spiritual. All right? And guess what? There is a spiritual coming out of her first. Okay? We're not minimizing that. You must separate yourself first spiritually from her if you're living amongst her. But that's the first phase. That spiritual disconnect is preparing you to do what? To do what? To have that relationship severed altogether. Right? I'd like to give an example like a relationship. Okay? You may be living in the same house, but when two people are done with each other, they tend to separate and not deal with each other and deal with the inconvenience until they can be apart. Right? That's what you see in this world. You see people who check out amongst each other, and through whatever finances, issues, whatever, they bear each other. But really, their heart been gone a long time from the relationship. So that's the example we can give for those who really can't afford to go places or don't have a direction right now. Keep in mind, none of Christ is lost. So your circumstance right now will not dictate how this thing will play out for any of us. Mm-hmm. Okay? The best thing we can do is to come out of us spiritually if we don't have the means to do so and not participate with her. So
that's the best thing to do. Just don't participate in no damn holidays or religion. And don't trust in no damn satanic government that's literally trying to destroy your ass. Okay? They've been murdering your children and everything. Educational system, all lies. It's that simple. You can't believe in the media. You can't believe the news. You can't believe none of that stuff. Educational system, lies. Healthcare system, it's not healthcare. It's sick care. All right. The word witchcraft in the Bible and the New Testament translate to pharmaceuticals and shit. Look at the ads on TV for medicine. Thoughts of suicide and all this stuff. All these side effects. Gotta wake up. And religions and holidays are all pagan in origin and in history, satanic. Right? Has nothing to do with the Bible. Nothing to do with Christ. None of them. It's all Rome. It's all Babylon. So just
now the Most High's protection covers his people, cover the righteous. And through that cover, the angels will show you a way. Then the ideas will come. You will link into the church. You'll start doing things where two or more are gathered, and a way will be made.
GOCC, I gather 144 on YouTube. They got the truth. Go link in with them.
That didn't.
And they got churches literally all over the world, literally.
Come to mind before. See? Right? Where you at, Elder Lawyer?
Revelations 18 and 8.
Come
dealing
on.
with the plagues.
Here's the plagues. Now, if you don't come out of her, eventually you'll suffer the plagues according to Revelations, right? Come on.
Revelations 18 and 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Death.
And
mourning. And famine. And she shall be utterly burnt with fire.
According to the Bible, that's the future of the daughter of Babylon. Eventually, she will go down by fire. And that's what's about to go down.
By Iran. The Iran war will come to America. They're going to bomb Israel, then bomb America. And that's Bible prophecy. Then when it happens, hey, you know the Bible is true. You know what I'm saying? If America, the Bible says America is Babylon, and spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt. Look at all three of those places. They were all destroyed by the Most High in the Bible. Yeah, America's all three in one, plus Rome. So it's like, obviously the place is going to be judged. Because it's the most wicked place on the damn planet or something.
Now, we probably have a few years before it actually happens. But no society, no empire in history, okay, ever in history, were able to avoid its prophecy. No empire, okay? When our people were under the Babylonian and Assyrian Empire, they had a time. They only had a certain time before it would go to the next empire or the next empire, up until the time in which the Most High would look to free and awaken his people. The time we have now, and no prior empire was able to escape the prophecies concerning their fall and the power going from one nation to the next nation that was prophesied in the book of Daniel. No empire have escaped their prophecy. So what makes you think America will? This is what's coming to America according to the Bible. Okay? And we talk about Babylon. Because this embodies everything we're dealing with coming into the so-called elections. That's coming into how before the elections they worship the dead and all that. It's all one system. It's all one religion. There's no separation between the churches that are celebrating Halloween and the political system.
Yep, they'll say some shit like church and state are separate. They're lying like they usually do. All lies.
And what they plan on certain days and the participation of Halloween and all that with our children and families. It's all one religious action under Satan. But in order to understand that, we have to go back to ancient Babylon. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through a few references, okay? All right. Now, what we'll do is make sure some of these references, once uploaded, will be there where you can actually go into some of these sources yourself, okay? But what we have here is the pagan book of days, okay? Now, brothers and sisters, this book here, the pagan book of days, is proof that all the holy days you're following today are being masked by our modern day politicians and by our modern day controllers to make you believe it's a day that you can relate to in history or in American history and all that. It's a lie. Okay? It's a lie. These days were worshipped in ancient Rome, and before ancient Rome, they were worshipped. I'm speaking of all the holy days. They were worshipped in ancient Babylon, ancient Egypt. Okay? Now here's the piece. I wanted to mention this real quick while it's in mind. A lot of those in the so-called conscious community come against the Bible because they claim, there's a lot of similarities in some of these stories of ancient Egypt and ancient Kemet and all that. See,
And that's the problem with these Egyptology niggas, these Kemet motherfuckers. They don't realize that's religion, that's Christianity, that's Babylonian, that's Roman. That has nothing to do with the Bible. They'll say some shit like the virgin birth was plagiarized. It's like, bro, the virgin birth has nothing to do with Christ. It's not the Bible. Alright, that's Babylonian. There's a reason why you think it's plagiarized, because it's all Babylonian. It comes from the Tower of Babel. The whole world knows about virgin birth and Sunday worship and all this other shit, because it's all Babylon, Tower of Babel. The nation's tongues got split into 70 languages, and they all went their separate ways with that same knowledge from Babylon ran by Satan, the same religion. Now it's just different languages. That means there's going to be different names, different locations, different cultures. It's going to be different, and you're going to think it's something different. It's going to be renamed. It's Satanism, Babylon, Tower of Babel, renamed. That's all it really is. So you think it's different just because it has a different name, and they celebrate it in a different way. Same shit. Satan has many names. The Bible tells you. So here we go. Wake up.
they're misguided. Why? Because they believe that the Romans' religion of Christianity is being taught from the Bible. So when they see those religious similarities of Babylon and Egypt, they relate it to the Bible. Mm-hmm. When Christ's stories and the stories in the Bible have nothing to do with those similarities. These are lies and doctrines that were taught by the Romans. And through that idea, through their misunderstandings, they don't view the Bible in its proper context. Okay? Egypt, believe it or not, ancient Egypt and everything ancient Egypt has and what they were came from Babylon. Okay? The Tower of Babel. Okay? So we're going to go and we're going to bring you take you to the past, back to the past, and we're going to bring you up to date on where we are today, right? Can you see that, lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is from Revelations Illustrated. You have the two Babylons? Here's some of the references we're going to use real quick. The two Babylons. The pagan days The Pagan Book of Days, right? And we're going to give you some more references we're going to read here.
Those are actual history books, by the way.
Another reference. These are old references, early 20th century, some even before then, where among the scholars in universities, there were records and references that proved back then that this is a satanic Babylonian system. Okay? Even when we look at the political construct, like Democrats, Republicans, the senators, it's all a religion, brothers and sisters. So there's no separation between church and state. They just tell you that because that's another way they can divide the population. Okay? Divide and conquer, right? Now, we're going to read a few quotes. Here's a quote, Elder Lawyer, right here.
Much better.
Right? That's better?
Yes, sir.
And this is from Revelations Illustrated, Made Plain, page 224. Read that.
It says, in ancient days, Satan seemed to make Babylon the capital of his evil operation.
In ancient days, Satan seemed to make Babylon the capital of its evil operation. Go on.
From this headquarters was started false religion.
And from those headquarters, which means that foundation, that headquarters they made in ancient Babylon under Nimrod and Satan, that became the headquarters of false religion. Now, at that time, there was one speech, one tongue, and all the nations were working together under one program to get Satan back out beyond the firmament.
That's your modern day NASA and CERN. And he forgot Satan, Nimrod, / Tammuz, and Semiramis, female fallen angel or female deity or wherever, right?
Okay. Now, our people, our forefathers, which is the line of Noah, Shem, okay, Abraham, from Eber and Peleg, okay, this was the line that would keep things pure against the false gods, against the false religions. Okay. Now, finish reading, Elder Lawyer.
The first religion was from Babylon, by the way, Tower of Babel, with Satan.
Moving on, it says here.
Now, this is where we're going. We're going into this book here. The two Babylons, which Jesuits and Jewish people will claim it's not credible. And just because they claim something is not credible doesn't make it not credible. They're not credible. Okay?
Yep, the synagogue of Satan. So
here it is. The two Babylons. Read this quote here where it says, in the two Babylons, right? Mm-hmm. Read it.
It says, the Tower of Babel was actually the worship of Satan in the form of fire.
Worship of Satan in the form of fire. Read.
The sun.
The sun.
And the serpent.
And the serpent.
Sunday worship originated in Babylon. Sunday is the first day of the week, not the Sabbath. The real Sabbath, essentially Saturday, but exactly Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Genesis chapter 2. The Most High rested from all of his work on the seventh day. The seventh day is Saturday. So, and Sunday is the first day of the week. So, essentially, here's the situation. First day of the week. The Most High didn't do nothing, and he's resting from doing nothing. That doesn't make any sense. So, Sunday is not the Sabbath. That's a lie.
Right? So, ancient Babylon began the worship of Sunday. See? Sunday was a worship of Satan. Okay? And they worshiped him as what? As a form of fire, because the cherubims, or the angels in heaven were what? Or they are what? Amongst the stones of fire, made out of what we call in this earth pure hydrogen, fire. So when he was hurled to the earth like a meteor, it was like a streaming fire coming to the earth. Okay? It wasn't a rock from another planet. It was Satan and the angels that was hurled to this earth. And so they worship that. They worship that fire. They worship what they would call his light, him being illuminated as an angel with technology and understanding beyond our realm. He could teach this earth the pure, what? Good and evil science.
Yep. No, he planted the tree of good and evil. But that's what these top 1% in governments be doing. They go to fallen angels and demons for knowledge and power and technology. Through sacrifice, like Moai sacrifice, 5.6 point star, child sacrifice, and all that shit, demonic rituals, whatever.
Beyond our realm of education. So through this, he was a god to be worshipped in ancient Babylon, right? Read on.
It says, however, Satan worship could not be done openly because of the many who still believed in the true God of Noah.
See that? So secretly, those in high position during the time of the building of Babel, secretly, they knew, those in high regard knew that this was a construct and a religion that was tilted towards or aimed towards worshiping Satan. But they had to do this in secret from amongst the regular builders, because the regular builders believed all along that they were worshiping the God of Noah. They knew there was only one true God. So they were tricked into believing that this tower was God's tower. The same way a lot of churches and institutions today, we believe because there's good people who we deem or think that are good people, but they're only tricking us through psychology with how they interact. But they're really evil and wicked people with a demented agenda against the world. These are your elites who they'll smile with you, hug a child, have a commercial with violins behind it, but really they're Luciferians. They're Babylonian Luciferian agents. See? Here's the trickery. In order for us to come out of Babylon, we must first understand what Babylon is and Satan's agent, so that our heart is not endeared towards or merge with any of this, right? It says right here, the Tower of Babel was actually the worship of Satan in the form of fire, right? However, Satan worship cannot be done openly because of the many who still believed in the true God of Noah. Come on, Elder Lawyer.
So a mystery religion began at Babel, where Satan could be worshipped in secret.
So the mystery religion is Babylon, see? And it's no different than the mystery religion of Masonry today. Okay? The mystery religion goes right back to the Tower of Babel, brothers and sisters. It's having those of influence in control of the population. See? Totally deceiving those that are under them in secret worships of Satan. That's why eventually we see Revelations 18. The Most High is saying, listen, come out of them, my people. I'm going to take it down. The only way to break the delusion once and for all is to totally, utterly destroy the dream. Destroy the illusion so that those that haven't woke up can wake up. See? Now, that reference also came from the LaRux brothers, 1959, where they talk about Neptune, which is a fallen god, right? It's a book called Neptune, right? Read what it says here.
It says, the researches of modern writers.
The research of modern writers said what?
Uniformly regard Babylon as the cradle of ancient paganism.
So those that worship the fallen gods admit in their records.
Then Babylon, Tower of Babel had like MK Ultra, some type of control. First cities too, by the way. Some type of mind control going, because if you go read in Genesis, they all had one thought in their head. Built that tower to fight the Most High and all this. I mean, that's some type of mind control for sure. But so there's that too.
That what? They deemed.
And it wasn't just a tower. It was like technologically advanced. Like NASA and CERN, those are like such a low level compared to what the Tower of Babel was. It was like a pour opener, a weapon. It was all kinds of shit, you know?
Babylon, the what? The cradle of ancient paganism. Okay? Polytheism, which is the worship of many gods. Why? Because Satan didn't fall by himself. 1/3 of the angels ruled under him within the firmament, within.
Yep, you gotta wake up. Satan came down and his angels, so this world is being ran by angelic, celestial beings. They're infinitely more powerful than us and wiser. They're immortal. So, this world's being ran by demonic fallen angels. Wake up. They ain't come down here just to do nothing. Alright? Just like in Job, Most High said, where are you coming from, Satan? From walking to or fro on the earth. Then you got all of his fallen angels on the planet too. So you gotta wake up. And they're spirits. Alright? They're spirits.
This construct. So all of these gods were worshipped in ancient civilization.
People call them aliens. People call them gods, Anunnaki, or whatever the fuck. Their children too are giants. Genesis 6:4. So people gotta wake up, bro. It's all biblical. They're fallen angels and giants, Nephilim. And your giants, people call them demigods or whatever the fuck. So gotta wake up.
Okay.
And these governments and religions and holidays worship and follow these demons, fallen angels and Nephilim, giants. That's what the governments be following. All right? The Bible tells you that. Satan's world.
Beginning on this side of the flood with Babylon, right? Read what it says here, right? And this book, okay, one moment. Make sure I have it here. Here's another book called Nimrod and False Religion, and it's adopted by The Bible Story, Volume 1, by Basil Wolverton. And this is published by the Ambassador College Press. Read this here.
It says, there in ancient Babylon were born the false beliefs that have wormed their way into almost every religion.
Come on.
Even today, millions and millions of people who may want to live according to the right ways are not aware that the manner of worship follows very closely that of ancient idol worship and pagan rites begun at Babylon.
Mm-hmm. So even those who want to do right are not aware that what they do right is still wicked and evil.
Exactly. Precepts on that. John said, be wary of involuntary worshiping of angels. The woman at the well, right, with Christ. We know what we worship, but you don't know what you're worshiping. You don't know what you're worshiping, you know what I'm saying? ETC, right? So people gotta wake up, man.
They were taught that Sunday worship was good. It's evil. Mm-hmm. See? Sunday worship was in pure defiance. What they do right is still wicked and evil. They were taught that Sunday worship was good. It's evil. Mm-hmm. See? Sunday worship was in pure defiance of against the God of the Bible, who said, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy, right? And I see so many people, when you talk about the Sabbath to them, they were, well, that's for the Jews. Well, wasn't Christ from the tribe of Judah? If that's for the Jews and Christ was a Jew, then why are you worshiping Sunday then? Mm-hmm. Right? Come on.
People today calling themselves Christians keep the Babylonian festivals.
What Babylonian festivals they keep? Come on.
Of the solstice at Christmas and Easter, which is the festival of Ishtar.
Now, this is in their records, their books, their universities. They know that Christians keep the Babylonian festivals of the solstice at Christmas, Easter, which is the festival of Ishtar, the ancient fertility goddess of Babylon. right? Right? Now, let's get a few more, right? This is from the Salk Brothers Neptune. Okay. Matter of fact, let's go here. Two Babylons, Alexander the Hislop, page 99. Read it.
It says Babylon was at that time the center of the civilized world.
Same thing it said in the other record. Read.
And thus paganism had opportunities of sending forth its debased counterfeit of the truth to all the ends of the earth.
So they would have a fake religion from Babylon after the splitting of the tongues that will be spread throughout the four corners of the earth. So what happens if God's people, the children of Israel, who didn't follow these things, fall through a curse? Eventually, these people would be spread throughout the four corners of the earth and do what? You got it. Be spread and get deceived by these Gentile Babylonian religions. And they would begin to believe, our people would begin to believe this was always the truth. Not relating our condition following other nations' religions, not relating that action to a curse. Okay? Not relating that. How can you get back to God after captivity following the nations who have enslaved you? Right? So we must go back to what it was before we fell. We must come back to the laws, right? Follow the Sabbath, right? Follow his commandments, right? Now, why did I go into this? Well, last week we went into, in the academy, first we went into who is Edom, showing Edom 2 weeks ago, linked with the gods or the god Seir, right? And that god Seir, when it show you in record, we show it in the academy, that god Seir is Yahweh, right? Well,
Yah, Ra, Yahweh, Jehovah, Baal, Moloch, and all that, that's all Satan. And Mount Seir is the mountain where the Canaanites were. And that's where Ishmael, the father of the Arab, or Iran, or whatever, and Esau went, the Romans, Esau, went to go worship Satan with the 5.6 point star, and they were doing child sacrifice and all that shit. So, Mount Seir is Satan's mountain and all that shit. People go worship Satan in the Bible, so.
When you look at the empires,
that's the history on that.
Daniel's brothers and sisters, right? All the way down, the Babylonian, Assyria, Persian. Well, when you look at the empires and Daniel's brothers and sisters, right? All the way down.
The four beasts of Daniel are all nations. First being Babylon, second being Persian Medo, which was Iran, and the third being Alexander the Greeks, so as Romans, and with the Greeks, and the fourth being Rome, that red lion and all that stuff. So it's Rome.
The Babylonian, Assyria, Persian Medo, Greek, Roman Empire.
Yep, that's the four beasts of Daniel.
Well, when you look at the empires and Daniel's brothers and sisters, right? All the way down, the Babylonian, Assyria, Persian Medo, Greek, Roman Empire. Well, that same God was worshipped all the way up until the Romans ruled, okay? And they culminated the same ideologies and merged it with their new religion, which is what you would call the universal religion of the church, the Roman Catholic Church. It was just Babylonian, but had a little bit of all the nuances of all the beasts or all the nations that ruled us. Okay, had all the nuances of all these empires so that they could rule us up until the time of Christ, which is Edom, Edomites, okay, Romans, right? Now, when you look at this, when they found us, or when they barred it for us and enslaved us and and sold us, like it says in Deuteronomy 28, to different places to build their new Egypt.
Yep. Deuteronomy 28:68. Slave ships around the world, mostly into America, to be sold to men. Israelites, because they broke the laws and commandments, they sinned, so they broke the agreements. So if they sinned, they'd be cursed, then they'd be at the bottom of all people. So that doesn't sound like white people are Romans, doesn't it? It sounds like black people. Not Africans. 70 AD, real history. Israelites, the Hebrews, ran to Africa to hide in a black nation because they're black. Acts 13:1-4. Prophets and disciples at the church of Antioch was called Niger, black. Revelation 1:14-15. Daniel 10:6. Christ is dark skin, well hair. etc. bro. On and on and on. So people gotta wake up. Shit, we was in Egypt. We ruled in Egypt and was enslaved in Egypt for 200 years. You think that was a bunch of white people or some shit? Hell no. People gotta wake up.
To build their new Babylon, to build their new tower.
And mind you, if they're gonna lie about that, they're lying about everything else. By putting up look up Caesar Borgia, second son of Alexander, second son of the Pope of Rome, Alexander VI, a poisoner, a criminal, a homosexual. They put that dude up as the false image of Christ, right? A Roman. Well, people will call him Jewish, but he's a Roman. Jewish people are Roman, so they're gonna do that. They'll lie about everything else. So you gotta get out of that religion. You gotta read the Bible. The Bible's fine. Religions are the lie.
Right?
King James Version Bible. If they lied on Christ, they're lying by King James too. King James was a Israelite, not white, not gay or nothing. He had 9 children and all that. Ruled during the Dark Ages. Sat on 3 thrones of Rome, created England and all that. So King James Version Bible. That's the original.
When they did this, they knew that we were religious Hebrews. They knew that it was in our culture. They knew it was in our nature to follow the God of the Hebrews. So no way they could separate that from us. We're spiritually drawn to this book, the Bible, and the Hebrew Scrolls.
Yep.
And to the belief of a God, the one true God. They couldn't take that away from us.
Yep. Christ and the Most High.
So what they did was they allowed us to continue in the book as long as they, and to the belief of a God, the one true God. They couldn't take that away from us. So what,
Might as well give you his name real fast. Exodus 3:13-14. King James Version with Moses. He gave his name because Egypt had many fallen angels and gods, and they all had names. So Moses had to give him Moses his name, his real name, his only name. Ahia. That's ancient Hebrew Phoenician. That's Hebrew. Then English, I am that I am. That's the Father, that's the Creator. And the Son, Christ, as we know it. It's not Jesus, that's Greek, that's Roman. Romans killed him. Savior, his name is Savior, and that's in Hebrew, Yeshaya. So, the Most High, the Father, Ahia, and his Son, Christ Yeshaya. They got the Holy Spirit, so that's the feminine, she, and all that, the Godhead. 3 witnesses in heaven. No Holy Trinity, that's not in the Bible. And they're not the same, they're all separate. So, you gotta wake up.
what they did was they allowed us to continue in the book as long as they could be the authority and control the narrative, the narrative and the doctrine of how we view the book, right?
Yep, that's what they did. Post-Constantine 325 AD, Christianity became pagan.
Right? So here it is. So long, and to the belief of a God, the one true God. They couldn't take that away from us. So what they did was they allowed us to continue in the book as long as they could be the authority and control the narrative, the narrative and the doctrine of how we view the book, right? So here it is. So in the church, they would teach us Sunday worship and the Babylonian rule and the Babylonian evil of ancient Babylon. Outside of the church, okay, they would teach us certain religious holy days and certain religious practices that would have us not only deal with the worships on Sunday, but the social actions of Romans, which were evil, would be our way of life going forward. Okay, let me show you. What's today's date?
The 28th.
Today's the 28th, right? Right? Let's get this book real quick. Right?
Essentially, all these religions and holidays are pagan and satanic from Babylon. Sunday is not the Sabbath; it's the first day of the week. All right, Sabbath means seventh, so gotta wake up. And the government is satanic. Educational system, bunch of lies. Healthcare system is actually genociding people. So, media and news is all propaganda and agendas. Politics is divide and conquer, two sides to the same coin, right? Your votes don't matter. They're gonna put in whoever they want to put in, and they're gonna be controlled through the Zionists or the Jewish people, the Romans. So, and the Romans are under Satan, and they control the world. So, that's the truth, and the only truth that can save people is the Bible, King James Version, outside of Christianity and Catholic or whatever. Just the Bible, King James Version. That's the truth. All right. So wake up.
And I need you to get, we going into Halloween, right?
Yes, sir.
Get it out of here real quick. October 31st. Right? October 31st. You got it?
Yes, sir. This is page 121 of the Pagan Book of Days.
Come on.
It says the 31st of October, known as Samhain Eve.
Known as what?
Samhain Eve.
Samhain Eve. Right?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Goddess month of Samhain commences. It goes on to state the Feast of Samhain marks the onset of a darker, more introspective time of year, when access to the other world is easier than usual.
When the access to the other world is easier than usual. Speaking of the satanic, demonic world, gates opening for demons, right? But these demons can only get hosts through what? Participation. Mm-hmm. This is a time of witches, druids, sorcerers, right? Right? They promote this, right? Throughout South America. Look at this. Look at this.
Yep, you see all this garbage. These are Israelites as well, by the way. The Mexicans, Hispanics, Israelites from the tribe of Issachar. They were conquered by the damn Romans themselves in those Spanish wars and shit. They brung them down. They killed millions, brung them down to 100,000 man-child and shit. They're conquered too, just like the Native Americans. Those are Israelites. We were conquered too. Black people, Judah, Haitian Dominicans, Levi, Benjamins, Jamaicans, Hawaiians, Naphtali, etc. Right? So these people are Israelites as well. Mexicans or whatever, Hispanics. There's 12 tribes of Israel through bloodline, through seed. Shem, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob's 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. And Shem is from the Middle East, not Africa. And they are dark skinned.
Our people in South America worshiping the dead, right?
Yeah, that's sin. Then according to the Bible, you can't be a Jew or an Israelite through a religion, through a conversion and religion. So they lied about that. It's never through the mother. If you don't have a father, you don't have a nation. The father of Christ was Joseph, and the Bible tells you that. Literally tells you that. Literally. So, people gotta wake up. It's never through the mother. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob's 12 sons because of 12 tribes. So, wake up.
Why are they doing it today? Well, they were taken over by the same Romans. Here it is. This is in East India. They're in a cemetery worshiping the dead, right? A day after Halloween. We're going to go there, right? Look at this. No one is tying this all together. Well, this was done in ancient Rome. Now, here's the sick part about this, brothers and sisters. The majority of the people you see dealing with this are actually Christians. These people grew up in a Christian church, right? Who went over to South America to set up the Roman Catholic Church? The Romans did. So these practices are from ancient Rome. They have nothing to do. They have nothing to do with us, with God's people, right? And even before they did this in Rome, guess where they got this from before then? The worshiping of the dead and all that. Babylon. From one empire to the next, these evil paganistic worships are promoted, right? Read on.
It says the festival is also known as Halloween.
It's known as what?
Halloween.
It's known as Halloween. Come on.
When witches ride abroad.
When witches rides abroad. And when you look at the image of Samhain, the idol is the horn god. The horn god.
That's another name for Satan as well.
With what? A serpent. The horn god right there, holding a serpent, right?
You can pause that later.
And I know the politicians and others would like to promote this as just a day of fun.
Think about it. Halloween. That's promoted in like all religions in the government. Like Halloween satanic. That's about demons and witchcraft. And that's all sin. That's all satanic according to the Bible. And that's a holiday that everybody follows. That's what the Bible tells you. 90% will fall and 10% will be a remnant. The world is of Satan. And broad is the way to destruction, and the nursery path is the way to the kingdom, and few will find it. Broad means a majority, right? So if the whole world knows something, accepts something, does something, go the opposite way, because they follow in Satan. That'd be the 90% that will fall. So don't. And that includes religion and holidays and following the government. All right. Educational systems like colleges and healthcare, all that stuff, go the opposite way. That's how you survive. All right. Follow the Bible.
Just an innocent day. No. The politicians and others would like to promote this as just a day of fun. Just an innocent day. No. It's religious, what you would call, it keeps us in this religious prison under Babylon. You have our families participating in this evil. So how can we come out of it and receive anything the Most High has promised if we continue to practice and be under the curse, right? Now, come on. Let's get November 1st now. Now we're going into the time of the elections. See, these are all preparations to do what? To initiate a religious ceremony to the gods. That's why they have the elections for the president and all that during that same period. It's one of the highest times of demonic and satanic activity on earth. Same time they're doing the elections. All of this is going on. Now, what they're not telling you is how many children, innocent children, who are taken from their parents and all.
Yep. Around October, December, all kinds of Amber Alerts that never existed until around that time. Children missing, children being taken, Amber Alert, Amber Alert. That's more like sacrifice, bro. That's what they be doing on these holidays, and you participating if you're following it. So people got that's their witchcraft. So people gotta wake up, man. Better wake up.
And a sacrifice during this whole period.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Missing children, missing people. That's not organic. That's the government. All right, that they didn't get lost in the woods or something, or no bear, no monster, or whatever the hell people be saying. That's the government. All right, that's what be happening to these people and children missing. So you gotta wake up.
And see, this is how they get the so-called pleb or the modern day citizen who have no idea what's going on. They get you to participate in ignorance by thinking it's just a political event to vote your next leader. So, but nonetheless, you are participating in it. Even, listen, ignorance is not an excuse. You're still participating in all what they're dealing with. So they get you to, they get you to deal in it through ignorance, to empower these demons and evil people to operate and to do what they're doing against our people. You're still complicit because you're telling people publicly you agree with a system that have enslaved and destroyed our people, that is behind the killing and destruction and wars and the evil on earth. You're saying that you agree with it if you vote for it.
He just said that. So the Bible tells you when the true people are in the land, right? Israel, Jerusalem, there would be no more war. The world will experience no more war. So that's how you know Jewish people ain't the people. Then another precept that says the world is of Satan is the Bible tells you when Christ returns, the armies of the entire world would be there to apprehend him, try to take him down. So people better wake up. The world's of Satan, bro. I'm not joking. It's real. Believe it or not.
And you will be inundated, all of us, you'll be inundated the next few days with all this information concerning this story of the emails and this with Trump and all that. It's just so they can engage you in their evil during a time in which evil abounds. Okay? Come on.
This is November 1st, page 124 of the Pagan Book of Days. It says, 1st of November, Cross Quarter Day, Samhain, Festival of the Dead.
Festival of the Dead. Now check this out.
And while he's talking about this, Thanksgiving, celebration of the genocide of Native Americans, which are Israelites actually, one tribe. The December 25th isn't Christ's birthday. That's Nimrod's, that's Talmud's birthday. So that's the original version birth right there. Ceramicist. So people gotta wake up.
The Catholic Church has Mass during that time, right? They have Mass during that time. Mass is lighting candles to the dead. And guess what? They call it Saints' Day in the Roman Catholic Church. Well, we know it's not Saints' Day. That's what they're using to cover the gods that they're worshiping and lighting candles to. The doors they're opening so that the demons can come and operate amongst what? The politicians, the senators, those in high regard and high power. Where do you think they get their understanding and knowledge from on how to rule and what to do? Okay, but they cannot get none of this information without blood sacrifice. So this is what you're participating in, brothers and sisters. It's all a religion. If you don't believe me, look here.
And guess what he got around his neck? A cross. Mind you, the cross has nothing to do with the Most High in Christ in the Bible. That's a contradiction. That's sin. The Bible tells you to have no image of anything in the earth, in the heavens, or below. And there's no object of worship. The Bible is against idols. Any type of material object of worship. So that has nothing to do with Christ or the Bible. A cross. Right? Nowhere in the Bible. Then if you put two crosses together and flip it, that's the Freemasonry symbol, by the way. Swastika is a cross folded up and all that. So people better wake up, bro. That's an idol. That's an idol around his neck. That's sin. That has nothing to do with Christ. Nothing. Zero.
Okay.
Not in the Bible. Nowhere. Nowhere in the Bible.
These are three of the greatest immoral people that have ever lived on earth. right here. Evil and wicked Satanists, rapists, you name it. This is what you're looking at here. Child molesters, child killers, right? It's a religion, all of it. To have an idea or to share an idea with one of these evil people or to agree with any of this. I mean, think about it. Look how many people died during the Clinton administration. The whole crack cocaine game and all that was being ran by them, by the Clintons. Okay? Look at Donald Trump. These are Zionists. They're Satanists. Okay? They're in it together. It doesn't matter who you choose. None of them will go anywhere. They're all doing their part in the satanic construct. This is all a game. They just need you included, and they need you to participate with the evil of Babylon. So I'm showing you how this works. So if we're going to come out of it, we have to call a spade a spade. We have to go straight to it and say, this is what we're separating ourselves from. The political system. We're separating ourselves from the religious system. We're separating ourselves and making sure our children don't participate or don't desire or envy the wicked when they see other children running into haunted houses and doing all types of evil and wicked things, promoting Ouija boards and all that. We're going to lose our children. When you take your children out there and have them participate, they're going to find something evil. And that day, something may enter which will never leave. Okay? That's how it works.
Demons. Right.
Okay? Come on.
It says, the third station of the year, awakening, is a time of letting go. When the seeds fall to earth, Samhain is the beginning of winter in the natural year.
It's the beginning of winter in the natural year. Come on.
All Saints' Day is the first day of the 2-day Christian commemoration of the dead elevated to sainthood.
The dead elevated to sainthood. Did you know that this had anything to do with God in Christ? Well, it don't. And when you ask a Catholic, well, can you explain to me how the dead is worshipped in Christianity? Can you explain to me, can you show me that scripture out of the Bible, please? And they'll look at you and be like, well, it's more tradition to worship. Yeah, it's a Roman tradition. And before that,
And the Bible tells you to stay away from the traditions of men, right? Colossians 2:8. Then the man's opinion or philosophy after the world and after Christ. So, hey, better be in that Bible. If it has nothing to do with Christ or the Bible, it's of Satan. Christ said there's only two masters on the earth. The Most High and Christ in the Bible, not religion in the Bible, or Satan. So you have to pick. You pick.
Babylonian tradition to worship the dead. Okay, to elevate it to sainthood. Did you?
And specifically in the Bible, it tells you not to communicate with the dead. So
you know that this had anything to do with God in Christ? Well, it don't. And when you ask a Catholic, well, can you explain to me how the dead is worshipped in Christianity? Can you explain to me, can you show me that scripture out of the Bible, please? And they'll look at you and be like, well, it's more tradition to worship. Yeah, it's a Roman tradition. And before that, a Babylonian tradition to worship the dead. Okay, to light candles to them. And not just any dead people that they are worshiping, brothers and sisters. These are renowned Nephilim children.
Do you know what's funny? It was that thing with the damn Jewish people in New York with the bloody mattresses underground doing all those demonic rituals and raping and killing people. They were doing all kinds of crazy shit down there. And you had this Jewish guy talking about they were trying to resurrect the Messiah or something. Lying, by the way. So they admitted to doing straight witchcraft and necromancy. Because the same thing happened in the Bible, and that shit was sin. That was sin. because they do communicate with the dead. From Hades, they can like communicate with somebody from the past or whatever the fuck. That's their witchcraft. So it's crazy, and people just forget. They don't even know. I mean, they got all the red flags. They tell you they're witches and war. They don't follow the Bible. They don't follow Christ because all that shit is sin, bro. That's all satanic. That shit ain't in the Bible. If it's in the Bible telling you don't do this. You know what I'm saying? So people better wake up.
Okay, that were revered throughout ancient history. So this is not just no regular people, dead people they're worshiping. These are the gods and the children of gods which were worshipped in ancient Babylon. Okay?
AKA fallen angels and giants, their children. Genesis 6:4.
Come on.
The sons of God came down, angels, fallen angels, had dealt with the daughters of men and made giants. So,
As a continuation of Samhain, the Eve of All Souls Day begins at sunset when it is customary to light the bonfires known as Tinley fires.
Now the bonfires are also used for what? Sacrifice. If you don't believe that, there's movies called The Wicked Man. One Wicked Man, there was an old movie called The Wicked Man, and they updated that movie with what? Nicolas Cage, the actor Nicolas Cage, where they have these little areas of witches and warlocks and sorcerers, all communities. You may think these nice communities are nice communities. They're not at all. They're satanic, pagan hubs for sacrifice and all that. Okay? So these bonfires are not just a fire.
they made a lot of movies on stuff like that, by the way. So, go.
It's to sacrifice to their God, the God of fire. Pagan hubs. These little areas of witches and warlocks and sorcerers, all communities. You may think these nice communities are nice communities. They're not at all. They're satanic, pagan hubs for sacrifice and all that. Okay? So these bonfires are not just a fire, it's to sacrifice to their God, the God of fire. The God of fire requires a blood sacrifice in the fire.
Not all communities. He's talking about the top 1% at least, the governments, Jewish people or whatever. Those rich people and stuff. He ain't talking about fucking, because you know how people think, oh, he's talking about every community. No, it's not every community, bro. Or every rich community or whatever. He's talking about like the elites, right?
That's from Moloch, the worship of Moloch. See? And the Bible tells us that we must keep our children from all of this. And it's hard to keep the children from this. Why? Because the adults in this world are taught to and operated with, we operate as if we're children when you think about it. It's not just the children that are the problem. It's the adults who are perpetuating the satanic system from generation to generation. We're going to get there in the Bible in one moment, but let me get this information out. Read.
It says the theme of this week is memory of the dead.
Hold up. The theme of this week, speaking of the first week of November, starting with October, a gate is open where there's a worship of demons. Catholics all over the world. You're going to South America.
Starting October 31st, the veil is thin.
They got people marching down the street with dead people and all that, right? You'll have it all down south and all that, people worshiping and not realizing they're opening channels for demons. See, that's what this is about. They are empowering the fire god, Satan, their Lord.
It's funny too, because the Bible tells you specifically not to do this. Santa Maria or the Day of the Dead or wherever, they be saying like they can see their loved ones or something. Like, people don't understand, when you die as a creation of the Most High, you as a man, woman or whatever, you go to await judgment. You ain't gonna come back on fucking the Day of the Dead and just, okay, I can see my family member. You're dealing with demons. You're dealing with Nephilim. They shapeshift. They know how to mimic. So people don't know what they're getting themselves into. So that's why Christ said to that woman at the well, "You worship, you do not know what. You don't have a clue. You think you're worshiping God or doing something right? You ain't. You following Satan." So Satan deceived the whole world. So you gotta wake up. Cause then shit, they used to teach us. That's how you know the educational system is ass. It's terrible. It's lies. They teach us this shit in school, bro. Showing these movies in school and all that, these Disney movies or whatever, DreamWorks, Day of the Dead and all this stuff. They show this shit in school, bro. They promote this stuff in school, so.
That's being taught in these churches and all that. Unbeknownst to the preacher. The preacher is just a pawn, a puppet.
You remember those damn skeleton movies? Those little Disney skeleton movies? Or whatever. I don't know what the name is. It's been so long. But I remember watching these movies in school, bro. So.
A pagan puppet that's being utilized by the system. The majority of them. And I'm not speaking of all pastors. I see a lot of pastors out there who are standing up against this evil. Mm-hmm. Okay? But a lot of them are just ignorant as they can be and don't want to know the truth. They'll open up their church and say, well, let's do Halloween in the church. At least we're going to do this for Jesus. And the children are safe. The children are not safe in your church, buddy. You can't call good evil and evil good. The Bible says, woe to them that call evil good and good is good evil.
Yep. Because you already know what people be saying. They be saying, well, I know it has nothing to do with Christ, but I'm going to make it about Christ or some shit. Like, bro, you can't turn a pagan, satanic, evil day into something good. All right? That's not how shit works. That's not the intentions of your heart either, because the Bible tells you in the Bible that man's heart is exceedingly wicked. Who shall know it? So, like, all the excuses they got is being thrown in the trash by the Bible. That's why you can't go with your opinion. You got to go with the history and the facts in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because people do that shit all the time, like Christmas or whatever the hell, Thanksgiving. Initially, when these holidays came about into society, it was about Christ. It was about whatever. Then now, all of a sudden, it's not about Christ no more. It's about family or the kids. They're just coping the pagan day. You know what I'm saying? It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? So, people gotta wake up.
Okay? You can have churches opening up for what? Opening the doors for Halloween and haunted houses. I was looking online and seeing a few of these things, and you know what? I couldn't believe this. How now the churches are open for haunted houses, saying, well, at least they're in a safe place to be trusted. When a lot of the molesters and all the evil people that operate go to church to get their conscience clear from the wickedness they continually do. Okay, these no repentant houses, harlot houses, promoting this evil Babylonian practice. So it's beyond Rome. It's Babylonian. But I'm showing you how the Roman Catholics, who took over everything, Rome is Edom, the Edomites, they have systematically merged these evil practices within our society. Now, the slaves, we just follow anything. It's just about fun and having a good time and all that. But guess what, brothers and sisters? Life is short.
Yep, it's just about family and kids now. So be ignorant of literally everything around you.
Okay, life is short. We will have to give an account of our actions on earth.
Yep.
And we're losing our children. We're gonna lose our children.
Yep, so it doesn't matter how ignorant you were, bro. You know what I'm saying? So people gotta wake up. You can't follow the world. You can't follow religion and holidays of the government. You can't do it. If you want to be saved,
you're giving them over to a God by celebrating these days. And you know what? A lot of us are giving ourselves over during this same time, participating in the political systems, the same systems that have destroyed us. Finish reading, Elder Lawyer.
It says, the theme of this week is memory of the dead.
Memory of the dead.
Communication with the underworld.
Hold up. Communication with the underworld. That's communicating with hell. Okay, hell is real.
Going into that, the longest man-made hole or whatever, manhole, whatever the fuck it is. Like, I forget how long it is, like 14,000 feet deep? I don't know. Something like that. Hearing screams, volcanoes, hell's exhaust, etc., right? So, people gotta wake up. All that, what they be saying? Center of the earth, hollow earth, and all that stuff they be saying? That's where that's not where hell is, but that's where the judgment, like you wait judgment at Abraham's bosom. Because the Bible tells you Christ went into the belly of the earth, the center of the earth, when he died, to take the keys of death away from Satan and all that. That's where Abraham's bosom is. One side is peaceful, one side is hellish. Lazarus and the rich man and all that, go read that. So yeah.
Read.
In purification for the future.
And purification for the future. And what they do, it opens up. These gods begin to deal with these politicians and deal with these so-called religious leaders who are nothing different than mediums between hell. And this guy in the middle will do what? Give information to these agents on what the demons told him to relay. For what? Further future prosperity in Satan's world. Right? Now, each day leading up to the election, what day is the election?
I think it's usually the 7th or the 8th.
Let me get it right here. I'm going to show y'all something. Right? We're going to show you. One moment. Let me get this here. To the president of so-called United States. Right? Let's go to each day. Right? You got November 1st?
We did November 1st.
What's November 2nd?
November 2nd, All Souls. All Souls Day commemorates departed spirits not elevated to sainthood. Before becoming a church festival in 998 CE, it was marked with celebrations from the festival of Woden or Odin as God of the dead.
God of the dead on the 2nd, right? These are all Roman, before that, Babylonian worships. So they got all this evil activity leading up to what? The presidency. So believe it or not, brothers and sisters, this is an initiate where demons operate and go into that particular person all the way up until they are inaugurated in January. You notice it's all during that same time of the season and all that. This is so that person can become a host for a demon while they're being utilized as a pawn before the population. And listen, open your eyes. Think about this word. Listen to this clearly. Do you notice how fast a lot of these so-called presidents age? Okay. Inordinately. They'll look normal at first, and then a few days later, they look like they just crawled from off a mountain somewhere. You understand? In the cold, with gray hair and all that. They just like, hold up, this guy just had black hair. Mm-hmm. These people are being used by demons, brothers and sisters. They're not themselves once they go through this initiate. It's actually an initiation into high demon possession. The same way there's levels.
Kind of like, example, the Pope's black smoke, white smoke ritual, which is on the news, by the way. They tell you this. And by the way, nowhere in the Bible, none of that shit's in the Bible. And it's actually the origin of it, the black smoke, white smoke ritual, the Pope's speech, depict the next Pope. That's a Babylonian, satanic witchcraft. The same demon or fallen angel going from Pope to Pope, possessed by a demon. So, better wake up. They ain't the people, they're Romans. They don't follow. They don't believe in Christ. They don't follow Christ. They're Babylonian. They put the Talmud and the Kabbalah over the Bible, and the Talmud disrespects Christ and Mary, talking about Christ is in hell, burning in feces and all this stuff. That's what they reverence, the Talmud, and the Talmud utterly disrespects Christ. In the Kabbalah, that's the books of witchcraft, right? And it's all Babylonian. So everything they do is not for the Most High in Christ. None of it is all for Satan. So people better wake up. All right, and they run the world under Satan. So wake up.
And masonry and degrees. Well, when you get to that degree, you no longer exist. You're being utilized by a demon. So they do it during a heightened time in which hell is open and releasing demons into the earth. Strategically, they do this into high.
Romans made cults, and the Romans are Freemasons. So Jewish people are Romans.
High demon possession. These people are being used by demons, brothers and sisters. They're not themselves once they go through this initiate. It's actually an initiation into high demon possession.
Presidents, politicians, whatever the hell. It's these top 1% elites. Most popular people, the most richest people, shit like that.
The same way there's levels in masonry and degrees. Well, when you get to that degree, you no longer exist. You're being utilized by a demon. So they do it during a heightened time in which hell is open and releasing demons into the earth. Strategically, they do this every election year. This is how it works. Okay, let's go to the next day.
It says here, November 3rd.
November 3rd, come on.
Malachi. The medieval Irish prophet Saint Malachi, the Irish Nostradamus, is commemorated today. In Celtic tradition, this is the day of starting new enterprises and the day the cattle are taken from the hills to the lowlands for wintertime.
Come on.
November 4th is blank. November 5th, Guy Fawkes Night.
Guy Fawkes Night. November 5th.
Guy Fawkes Night, celebrated by burning an effigy of a would-be regicide, continues the earlier traditions of burning effigies of the evil spirits of the past old year by cremating them along without horns, or it says by cremating them along with outworn hurts and grievances, the new year may be faced in a purer way, free of unnecessary and unhelpful physic leftovers. Verse 6.
Burning fire to Satan and cremation. Another thing, brothers and sisters, it's dishonorable to cremate. Okay, that was another sacrifice to the gods under Rome.
It's a burnt sacrifice to Satan, both to bury your dead, for the regenerification of the saints, according to the Bible. When Christ will return, the saints will rise up again. Not reincarnation, is resurrection. There's a difference. But if you cremate, there is nothing to regenify. It's the valley of the dry bones in Ezekiel. Can these bones live? Right? Prophesy unto these bones. Prophesy unto the wind. Wake your people up. So you have to bury your dead. Because the same way Adam came and all that, through the dust of the ground, we will come back. If we're righteous, obviously, if we follow the real Christ, we can't be following no Jesus and no cross, and no religion, no holidays, and government, and expect to be, it ain't gonna work. We gotta follow the real Christ in the Bible. So, if you can't cremate is a burnt sacrifice, like Holocaust is a burnt sacrifice. So that's why they were burning people. That's what Holocaust means. So the Jewish people or Germans, they're both Roman, so they lied about that. But yeah, you can't cremate. That's Roman and pagan. So you have to bury your dead because the bones, you have to bury.
From the dust, our Father was made out of the dust, okay, that was another sacrifice.
It's in the Bible. Joseph, right? When Joseph died in Egypt. See, Egyptians, they do all that mummification and they do all that weird stuff. When the Israelites left Egypt, he pleaded for them, like before he died, he pleaded that they take his bones to bury him. Because the Egyptians, they don't do that stuff. So, that's a precept in the Bible. Like, you have to bury your dead. You have to bury it.
To the gods under Rome. And cremation. And another thing, brothers and sisters, it's dishonorable to cremate. Okay? That was another sacrifice to the gods under Rome. We're from the dust. Our father was made out of the dust. And to the dust we go. It doesn't take much for a hole to be dug up and a body placed in it, and the earth receives her child back to the dust. That's the way it should be. Okay? I don't care what type of funeral arrangements people are talking about.
Yep, they will make it convenient for cremation. You already know how it goes. Oh, she wanted it to be cremated. Oh, it's cheaper. It doesn't matter what she wanted. It doesn't matter if it's cheaper. You do what's right according to God in the Bible. You bury your dead, bro. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter what the will said or what she wanted. You bury your dead. Okay? That's the proper way to do things. If you want to see your family member again, you bury your dead. All right?
Where they say, well, hold up. It costs this much and that much and that much. How much does it cost for a shovel? The same materials that go into the ground will be materialized for the new bodies, and they know this. Burning our bodies is a sacrifice to the god of fire, Satan. Cremation is evil. The Romans did it so that they can walk along the underworld with their fathers. That's what they called it. It was initiation where they would be there, trapped in the underworld with their fathers. Okay? I want to put that out there. So November 5th is a cremation day. Okay? To Satan in ancient Rome. I don't care what they tell you. I'm going to show you all the days in ancient Rome that runs up to your presidency. Why am I saying this? It's all Roman. I mentioned earlier that America was never a day established under the Most High God. You can see George Washington next to the Baphomet wearing what? A Roman toga. It was always Roman. So what's going on? While you are dealing in our modern time, thinking that things are just normal and this is just something to do, all right, it's just a social thing to do with your family and all that. These evil people are worshiping these Roman days as if they were in ancient Rome. Okay? Right, listen, right on point to how it was done back then. They dress up in Roman togas. They do all that evil behind closed doors. They work.
Roman togas. If you look at the... I might as well say it. If you look at Caesar Borgia pictures, the false image of Christ as Jesus and all this stuff, he's wearing a Roman toga. Hebrews are Israelites. Christ was an Israelite. They don't wear Roman apparel, Roman togas. All right? Romans wore that. We already know what the Romans did. They killed Christ and all that. So people don't even know this. So all those pictures of the false images of Christ and the disciples, they're all Romans. They're not like actual Israelites or Hebrews. So people don't even know this.
They bathe in blood, right on point to how it was done back then. They dress up in Roman togas. They do all that evil behind closed doors. They worship. They bathe in blood. You name it, they do it. Okay? Come on, what's the next day? Come on.
Jumping over to November 8th.
Let's go to November 8th. What that say?
It's called Mania.
Mania. Now listen, November 8th is actually a pagan day. So don't tell me that our political system is not a religious system. They're pagans. These are everything they do is pagan. Paganism is a religion. So the whole construct is pagan. Right? November 8th. What is this day according to ancient Rome?
It says the Roman festival of Mania commemorates the manes, spirits of the underworld,
Spirits of the underworld.
a day when the lower worlds are accessible.
A day in which the lower worlds are accessible. November the 8th is a day that the priest can communicate and access hell.
The popes.
Hint.
Top elites, the Freemasons, and government. Top 1% elites.
You got both with Hellraiser in the middle. See? They need a medium to communicate with hell. Okay? This is ancient Roman. They understand certain days are heightened days in which when the earth shifts, certain things open between the earth and the underworld. Okay? Come on.
In Celtic tradition, Gwyn ad Nud, light, son of darkness, lord of the fairy kingdom, permits the door to be open for a day.
If the door is only open for one day, November 8th. You think they didn't know this?
I might have to freaking end stream right quick to get rid of space on my phone. What the? Might.
So they got you looking at, whoa, what's going on with Hillary's email? Trump said something 10 years ago. He's a misogynist. He's this, he's that. These are distractions, brothers and sisters, so that you can be engaged in conversation and choose one side of the devil or the other side of the devil. And it all culminates during the same heightened time, the most evil time of the year. Sam, the worship of the day. Boy, all the religious Satanists are salivated. This is their favorite time of the year. To get children sacrificing little children in fire. And to have the whole earth being pipe into who's going to be elected into the Babylonian satanic care controlled by the synagogues of Satan. Right?
Revelation 2:9. Right. Another synagogue the synagogue of Satan.
So if we're going to come out of it, we really have to understand what system we were enslaved in and separate ourselves on every level. Come on, read that last part again, Elder Lawyer.
It says, in Celtic tradition, light, son of darkness, lord of the fairy kingdom, permits the door to be open for a day. His abode is Glastonbury Tor, one of the ancient holy mountains of Britain, an entrance to the lower world.
And an entrance to the lower world in Great Britain. So we know the Queen of England and all of them, they strategically place their buildings on areas that's connected directly to the underworld or hell. Okay? That's the world we're really living in, okay? So who's going to celebrate Halloween? Okay. Who's going to deal with this Halloween system and the political system leading up to a demon, okay, going into a host named president? Who's going to participate? Well, we're not God's people. We're not dealing with Sunday worship. We're not dealing with none of this evil, none of your wickedness, none of your Babylonian traditions. Let's get a few scriptures here. 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. Come on.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20.
And it makes me sick. I'm looking at Hillary. Every other second, they got a commercial of this woman hugging a black child. Like she care about it. She don't even care about her people. This witch is behind how many dead black children? And, you know, I can't even speak about Donald Trump. He's just a joke. You understand? But the majority of the things he say, because he's dealing with jokes, the things he says violent are totally, they become defamed or not credible, because he do speak a lot of truth, but it's two sides of the same demonic coin. He says a lot of truth, but because he's so outlandish with his wickedness, you understand, which is on purpose, it's all theater. It makes it where, well, I'm not really voting for Hillary. I'm just not voting for the other crazy guy. Well, that was the point all along, to have you participate and to believe that it's anything outside of what God said it is, evil. Their political system is a religious system, because why? Most of you believe in the system more than you do the Bible itself. You believe you can vote someone in that can change your life and can change the future in your of your prosperity or your path. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Let's get it. Let's get 1 Corinthians 10 and 20.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20.
Come on.
But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice,
The things that the Gentiles sacrifice,
they sacrifice to devils.
they sacrifice to devils. So what does this mean? The Gentiles, everything they do, their religious setups and all that, their social gatherings, everything they do is to devils. Okay? They only do it when it relates to some connection with demons and evil and wickedness. Read.
But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils.
They sacrifice to devils, demons, go on.
And not to the Most High.
And not to God, come on.
And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils.
You can't say you down with the Most High and sit at the table with demons or devils. You can't do so. You have to make a choice. And I know some of our parents are going to deal with the peer pressure that comes with their children, saying, it's just some candy. Well, listen, I'll buy you some candy right now. Okay? You want some candy? Make sure you brush your teeth and make sure you get it together where we ain't dealing with no dentist and all that. But listen, you want some, look, go downstairs in the shed. There's all the candy you want. You ain't going out there worshiping Satan, I can tell you that. And during this time is the time in which they look to kidnap children and all that. And some of these children are going to be in the midst of a pentagram on fire with some demented Jewish cat drinking their blood next to them as their soul leaves. Before they put the dagger in them and their soul just leaves all together. That's how they do this. They love hurting children, brothers and sisters. And I hate to be so descriptive, but someone have to wake people up. Someone have to just say, listen, this is what you're really participating in. Okay? If they can get the whole world to participate, or a large number, that actually maximize their opportunity to abuse or sacrifice a child. The more children participating in it. Okay? Come on.
Verse 20.
I'm gonna come back. I need to delete some stuff. I'm gonna be like 5 minutes, so if you really want to know the truth, you would wait. But we'll see. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back in like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna stream again today.